For the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome here to Shea Stadium in Peoria, Illinois. I'm Cody Roskins. Alongside me, Jonathan Michaels. We get set for this WPSL Gateway Division clash between Peoria City and Junction FC. We'll go ahead and take a quick step off to the side as we let the in-arena PA introduce you to tonight's starters.
In goal 0, Rachel Bova.
Peoria, Illinois, where an afternoon together opens up a world of adventure, and every splash becomes a shared adventure, where imagination runs as big as the machines themselves, proving that wonder comes in all sizes.
Whoa!
In Peoria, every adventure begins with just one step, and every doorway leads to discovery.
If you want to improve your game, contact the Yard to book a batting cage or field today.
Here's another home improvement insight from Custom Bath Solutions. Most bathroom remodels happen for two reasons: to keep up with style trends or to keep up with your changing family. We can take today's neutral trends and pops of color and pair them with 2-day tub-to-shower conversions, a spa-like oasis, or a no-barrier shower with grab bars as your family needs. Get started today and save 10%. Call 309-699-1100, click on custombathroomsolutions.com, or visit the Prairie Home Alliance showroom in Washington.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium here in Peoria, Illinois, where it's just about reaching the conclusions of our starters for tonight's WPSL Gateway Division clash between Peoria City and Junction FC. I'm Cody Roskins. Alongside me, my broadcast partner tonight, Jonathan Michael. Jonathan, thanks for filling in with me here today and setting up to be a pretty fun game tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. You know, two Central Illinois rivals. Junction FC is right down I-74 down the Champaign-Urbana area. So first time these two teams are playing off. This is just the third game in the franchise history of Peoria City's women's team. So a new chapter begins here today in Peoria.
I want to take a quick moment here before we get game action underway to shout out some of our sponsors that make this broadcast and others like it in the future possible. First, for Ducks down on Farmington. John, we swung by there not too long ago.
That was pretty good.
Had ourselves some tremendous food, tremendous hospitality and service. Highly encourage all of you listening, take a trip down to Ducks. Tell them Clutch Sports Media sent you. As well as Green Chevrolet out on Knoxville. Obviously, great service there as well. Green Chevrolet can't thank them enough for all the sponsors. making this broadcast and others like it in the future possible. As we just about ready to begin game action, it appears Junction FC wanted to take a quick
starting 11 picture.
Yeah, quick starting 11 picture. Meanwhile, Peoria City just about ready to break their pregame huddle. Coming into tonight, both these teams hunting out a win. Peoria City fell each of their first 2 times out, once to FC Pride, and then last time in their home opener to Lou Fuse Athletic in what was a tough 2-0 defeat. Opposite them, Junction FC, they're a little susceptible defensively, John, and they surrendered 7 goals in that opening match.
Yeah, and for Peoria City, this is just what the doctor ordered, a team that's still looking for their, they got a goal against FC Pride in their home opener, or in their away opener, but they were scoreless in their loss to FC Ambush back here on Saturday. So this Carp team will be looking to just really get that offense going, get that offense humming. It's important for a team that is, still kind of coming together, still building that chemistry early in the season. We'll see how they fare tonight.
Officials for tonight's game. Our center official will be Evan Jenkins. Our AR1, Brett Arkin. AR2, Joseph Gross. And our 4th, Megan Vietti. FC Tucson will be in the white uniforms with maroon shorts. Peoria City will be rocking the black uniforms with gold numbers and gold trim.
Hey, Cody, you're getting a little deja vu from last year. FC Tucson is a USL 2 team, but with the same colorway as Junction FC, that same kind of maroon and white.
It's a sharp look as we're underway. Junction FC in possession to get us started. Peyton Rhodes returns to her start in goal tonight for Peoria City. She was very good in the 2-0 loss for Peoria City last time out. Made a couple of good saves on some penalty kicks, but obviously learning experience for the team as a whole here just 2 games in to their WPSL campaign.
And Peoria City entered that halftime of that game against FC Ambush on Saturday, tied at 0. So, again, that game was scoreless for most of the way, about 50, 60 minutes or so. And, Rhodes, again, we're still kind of learning and feeling some things out for this Carp women's team in very early. But we do know that Peyton Rhodes is certainly beginning a cornerstone for this squad. That game against Lou Fuse on Saturday.
Peoria City in the final third, trying to snake around. Officials will say play on. Falls to Niakrati. Continuing to dance out of traffic. Pushed off to that far right wing. Trying to find some service. Whipped back in front of goal. Header opportunity. Just too strong, but that final third approach was something that Peoria City really had kind of dialed in. It was just that last pass or last strike of the ball that was keeping them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, Cody, we talked about scoring opportunities for this Peoria City team. How about 174 seconds into the game? That will certainly play, and I certainly expect Peoria City to, keep things aggressive on the offensive end and really make this Junction FC back line work for everything they got tonight.
Rachel Bova is the goaltender tonight for Junction FC. It'll be a Peoria City throw-in along that far in line. Trying to hunt out Emily Murphy. And this will be a foul against Peoria City.
Beautiful night for some soccer, Cody. Again, see the sun kind of creeping over a cloud, just bathing this Shea Stadium in sunlight. Good crowd here on hand. Obviously, the food trucks, fans here as usual. Always a good time here for all the families and fans that come out. Again, we say it time and again, but Peoria City does it right. It's just another beautiful May night.
Absolutely the case. Peoria City experience. Last time we were blessed with a shower of fireworks in the postgame against Lou Fuse in the Peoria City women's match. Another Peoria City throw-in, able to get it to Mayock. Peoria City generated a handful of opportunities in that match against Lou Fuse, recording a final of 9 shots on goal, 3 of which were kissed off the crossbar after being pushed up that direction by Lou Fuse's keeper and Caroline Ritter. So Peoria City definitely generated enough chances in that last match, but just unable to beat a keeper on her game that night. This one whipped backside, switching to play, and Peyton Rhodes on her horse, able to pick it up.
Yeah, Cody, I was just about to say, this Peoria City team, we mentioned that again, they've only scored 1 goal through 2 games. Again, obviously could be worse, but, it's not for a lack of trying, not for a lack of, good opportunities. They really had some phenomenal chances in that game against Lou Fuse. And just like you said, all hats off to Lou Fuse's keeper, who is having a whale of a ball game.
Big push forward here for Junction FC. Pushed out of play. Rebecca Reinheimer, the midfielder, trying to make her advance towards Peyton Rhodes. This will force a Junction FC throw-in deep inside the final third.
It's always a tough break when those balls goes just to the left of that flag. You have to deal with a throw-in rather than the corner.
Mayock trying to battle out of trouble. Somehow is able to. Now here's AJ Mayock. And that one will bounce off Junction FC. Possession to Peoria City.
Nice moves there by Mayock there along that far sideline there, just to get it out of traffic and force the throw in there.
The midfielder from the Illini by way of Round Rock, Texas, with the fancy footwork along that far side.
Not the only Illini on this team. Rhodes, obviously part of the Fun Illini as well. Didn't play for them last season, didn't see the field. But again, some more of that Division I experience, of which Peoria City has, again, more than just players from Illinois. Got players from Ball State, Illinois State as well, Missouri State. A lot of good programs that they've drawn from.
A lot of these players as well, as you were mentioning, John, are Central Illinois based, whether or not they're from a Central Illinois institution or not. A lot of them have their roots in the Illinois area, and in large part was the building block and idea of getting a team with such a rich high school soccer tradition like Central Illinois to only make sense to eventually get a WPSL team. And this one will belong to Junction FC.
Yeah, obviously, Cody, for me and you, obviously both being Bradley people, it is a little bit different for us to see a women's soccer team because Bradley, one of the few Division I schools out there that has a men's soccer team but not a women's soccer team. So a nice change of pace here to see the women play here at Shea Stadium. Again, beautiful venue, but again, so much talent here in this Peoria area. We're seeing it here in even the high school postseason wrapping up right now, even as we speak. So a lot of good programs, some, especially down at like Glenwood, for example, Ryland Law and Rowan Law, both from down in Chatham, down near Springfield.
Be a Peoria City throw-in. Able to play it back to AJ Mayock. Mayock curling it into the box. Putting on a strike and blocked away. Was Padilla with that last strike for Peoria City. This one chipped ahead towards AJ Mayock, open on goal, and it's just chopped over the top, but it wouldn't have counted anyway as the far side AR raises his offside flag.
And there are about 2 or 3 carved down there in front of the net. So again, great push there by Peoria City, a nice space in there to get that opportunity, but offside flag goes up. Maybe even a little relieved that that was blown, because if that went into the net and they hear the whistle, that would have stung it just a little bit more.
Junction FC trying to get that forward momentum. That's Klopfenstein trying to get forward for Junction FC. Nice one-touch passing for Peoria City. Results in a wide shot for Joella Livingston.
Livingston, another one of those Central Illinois products, native of Forsyth, down near the Decatur area, played at Decatur St. Teresa.
Junction FC getting a little bit of forward momentum here. This is Or a lot of times, teams struggling to find a little bit of defensive relief. Once they finally get past that midway line into the attacking third, things kind of speed up a little bit and they can tend to get caught out. But Junction FC so far in the early 9 minutes of play have shown the ability to float a little bit better than they had in their earlier contests against Lou Fuse. Here's Emily Tobin. Tobin going one-on-one, now taking one-on-two, still powering through. Her cross from just outside the penalty area. Trying to turn and shoot and kissed just wide.
That ball did not miss that post by much. I'm not sure how it looked with our camera angle, but that ball missed it by less than 6 inches. Just another opportunity that is so close, they just can't quite put it in. But again, we're starting to see that attack, and already 2 very good chances here in the first 9 minutes and change.
Already 4 shots for Peoria City. Annika Klaus was the last attempt for Peoria City. Now here's Tobin once more. Klaus initially run off the ball, able to steal it right back. Here she goes on the break. Annika Klaus trying to lay it off, able to find it to Tobin. She chips it back, post, header. Right idea, just a little bit off the pace there for Peoria City, but you can tell each side now kind of finding where they want to be here in the final third as Mayock's header was wide.
Yeah, that initial challenge there on Klaus was brought by, looked like it was Lily Klopfenstein there on the back line. It was either her or Ella Neely. Didn't quite get the number. Both of those are number 13 and 14, but that was a big right there. Otherwise, Klaus was going to have just a pretty unchallenged run at the net.
Well, now here's an opportunity laid back for Murphy. Now Mayock punched away. Bova with the punch and holds the game scoreless.
That may have been the best chance we've seen so far this game, Cody. I don't know about you.
Yeah, Mayock running full head of steam, outnumbered inside her own box. Really good job by Bova just to stay composed, find the middle of goal, and try and just make herself big and give your team a chance. That's all you're really asking for in that situation. Instead, it results in a Peoria City corner. In-swinging ball towards that back post. Livingston with it. Junction FC trying to not be caught out. Well done to clear the ball.
I think about 2 or 3 times now we've seen Junction FC kind of go for an aggressive challenge on the ball, and it has not paid off. We saw it that allowed that run there from Klaus just a minute ago and nearly made him pay again as they are pretty aggressive in trying to get that one out.
Crotty nearly has her pocket picked, but well done to keep it in possession of Peoria City. Ball floated to Mayock. She'll reverse out to that far right wing. Trying to go one-on-one, trying to beat there before the end line, and Bova will send it out for a Peoria City corner. That might have been one she could have gotten on top of, but in that instance, you want to be 100% certain.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, Bova's already faced multiple chances tonight. She doesn't want to take more of a risk than what she needs to. She'll settle for another corner, of which Peoria City has had 2 of, but again, still looking for that first score.
It'll be a short corner. Push to Mayock, overlapping run. Now it'll get whipped in and stabbed away initially. Tobin was there. And looks like for the moment, Junction FC will have starved out this attack. All but a tough giveaway for Junction FC. Trying to go up and over. It looked like it was Padilla, and she draws the infraction against Junction FC.
Yeah, Kaylee Winters, the midfielder for Junction FC, got her up in the air there. Glad that Padilla is already kind of a tough fall, but it's able to land on her side, and Peoria City will get rewarded with the free kick here. We'll see where Bova sets up. There's going to be a wall of 3 Junction FC players.
2 over the ball for Peoria City, Mayock being one of them. Mayock will take the strike, and it'll fly over goal and result in the goal kick for Bova.
Again, when you're kind of just head on right there, usually you see obviously a lot of players want to kind of bend the ball in. Sometimes being head on, and sometimes it can be a tough place for that free kick.
Well, it essentially eliminates a quarter of the goal because, again, if you're accounting for that bend, you really only have about half your target to really aim for. It makes it a little easier, but that time just a little too strong on it from distance. But again, Peoria City generated about 9 shots unofficially in their contest against Lou Fuse. Tonight, already 6 in the first 14 minutes of game action.
Yeah, we haven't seen Junction FC put together an extended attack for about 10 or so minutes.
Ball inside, Murphy! Just kissed it off the side of her heel. And you can see her applauding the efforts on the service in, and it's oh so close to Peoria City scratching across that first home goal. They've been bested by the post now twice.
Yeah, so Murphy kind of put her hands over her mouth there, just almost in shock, so to say. But another good chances. Peoria City, they've been hustling very well in this one, just not making anything easy for Junction FC.
And this will belong to Junction FC along the far side for the throw-in. And miscommunication there from Junction FC results in the Peoria City throw-in now. Looks like Padilla will make her way over. Padilla arcing it over the top, giving him a chance to run onto it. Klaus trying to get there first. It will result in Peoria City possession. Here's Emily Murphy. Murphy with the turn and burn. Give and go passing. Somehow still results in possession for Peoria City as Mayock trying to hunt it down. Again, ball outside. And Cordray is offside.
That was close, but yeah, not quite there. One of our first mentions of Bree Cordray, when we mentioned Cody, Rhodes, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, been a big player, but Cordray really is that vocal leader, that just kind of team captain, presence for them, experience forward, another Central Illinois native as well. So, again, maybe being a defender, her name might not show up in the goal column quite as often, but her impact cannot be understated for this young Carp team.
This is a team that is, again, still growing chemistry. This is only their first year in existence. Obviously, the organization of Peoria City now in its 4th total year with the men's program in their 4th season. This being just the first for the women's side here at the WPSL level. Good passing from Mayock. She'll thread it through. Nice through ball to Klaus. Run off just a little bit. Cordray still gets it. Klaus hunting that first goal and offsides.
Phenomenal passing there on that sequence there from the Carp. That little touch pass near midfield set it all up. And just another real close offsides there. And I wonder how much Bova's got to be sweating. I mean, she is getting peppered with opportunities just for every other minute.
So it'll be Delaney Keys and Caroline Sheehan entering the contest for Junction FC. So the first 2 moves off the bench have been made. As Bova will send her kick just shy of the midway line. Leah Crotty. You see Padilla really push the tempo here to Cordray. Murphy trying to get central for the strike. Mayock. Here's Crotty from a fair bit out. Crotty off the crossbar.
That one may have just snuck under if Bova didn't get a tip on that. And boy, talk about deja vu. I mean, that was exactly what their chances were like in that last game. Just a hair off. Looks like Bova actually did not get a tip on that, so it'll be a goal kick.
Tobin able to lay it back. Junction FC trying to get matched up. Again, already 8 chances in the opening 18 minutes and change for Peoria City. They've done well here in the offensive attack. Klaus playing it ahead to Cordray. And out of play. This will stick with Peoria City. Emily Tobin puts on a shot, steered away. This second effort is ricocheted in on an own goal.
I think Livingston's going to get credit for it.
Joella Livingston put on the shot. It looks like it caught a touch off of a Junction FC defender, but regardless, it's the first home goal for Peoria City's WPSL side.
You had to know it was coming sooner or later, Cody. Boy, that's got to feel good. You just get one to open up the floodgates. Given it was an own goal, just kind of an unfortunate deflection there if you're Junction FC. But again, the persistence is just finally paying off. And sooner or later, you had to know that, if you attack the net, good things will happen. And that time it did for Peoria City.
Well, Livingston. Yeah, at least from our vantage point, it looked like it took like a touch, but for the time being, Joel Ellingston will have the goal from Tobin. Switched over the top. Here's Mayock. Still in a threatening space, finally getting steered away.
Peoria City fans, the Ducks on Farmington Road duck call means now is the time you could win from the 20th minute to the 30th.
Cordray playing it forward.
Everyone in attendance will win one third round battered chicken fingers with a sauce from Ducks on Farmington Road. Dine in only with the purchase of a drink required.
Ball chipped ahead towards Murphy. Space just tough to find out there in the interior of the box for Peoria City, and there's the foul.
This could maybe start potentially one of Junction FC's first kind of long possessions in quite some time. Again, Peoria City has just been dominating the time of possession, probably at least 80 to 20% right now. And we'll see how the visitors can kind of get something going here. I'm curious to see what they can bring on the offensive side. We just haven't really seen much of it so far tonight.
All sent ahead towards Peoria City, taken in by Padilla. She's got Wells with her if she wants it. It is played ahead to Wells. She'll knife back inside. Chance for Peoria City, laying it off for Murphy. But again, you see that forward momentum ahead, and it just, at that final moment, Junction FC either gets a slight touch on it or Peoria City's just one half step away from really putting that one in.
Yeah, you said it right there, Cody. I wonder maybe if Peoria City just maybe slows down just a touch, maybe sets things up a little bit more, tries to go off of less touch passes, and maybe they can get something to go, settle the ball down, be in the right spot. But again, we're looking at 9 shots in 22 minutes. The goals are going to keep coming if this game continues at this pace.
Here's Murphy trying to get it ahead to Mayock. Her pass is intercepted and taken away, but Mayock able to rescue it. Now here's Wells. Wells played ahead to Mayock. And stabbed out of play for the Peoria City corner.
And Mayock has been extremely active in this one so far. Another Illinois Fighting Illini, native of Texas. Mostly a bench player for the Fighting Illini, but Yeah, it's kind of why you join these summer teams like Peoria City. You kind of really can show what you can do, get some extended burn, and some good competition here in the WPSL.
Low liner towards that front post, takes one hop. Mayock trying to get there, still dancing around. Taking the shot was Livingston, looking for her second.
I was surprised that ball got through that entire kind of just clog of defenders right there. About 10 bodies in between the ball and the net. Just floated over all of them.
Tobin on the ball here, able to get some help from Crotty. As we get into the 25th minute here in the first half. Just not enough time in possession here for Junction FC. Now trying to get a little bit going, as Winters couldn't quite keep it for reinforcements. Ball played ahead. Coming out trying to jump on it and will is Bova. As the ensuing Ryland Law, we've mentioned earlier in the broadcast, was the closest there for Peoria City. Joella Livingston, she's been very active here in the first half. Reinheimer for Junction FC escorts that one out of play. Will stay with FC.
I haven't mentioned Junction FC's forwards too much in this one. Again, been mostly on defense for them so far, but one of them, another local product, a recent high school graduate from around the area, Reese Anderson, all Big 12 selection down at Normal Community High School. It's about 45 minutes away, right in between Peoria and Champaign.
Beautiful ball laid ahead to Murphy. The Emily to Emily connection. Tobin now on the front foot is escorted out of play for the Bova goal kick. As we get near the 27th minute of action. Again, I'll give you a quick rundown of the unofficial stats here in the first half. 11 shots, no saves, 3 corners for Peoria City. For Junction FC, been a little more tough to come by in the offensive production department. No shots, 1 save, no corners. As the defense has been essentially trying to anchor in for the majority of this half.
That one save of the game, that little kind of punch save there from Bova.
It's really what's keeping them in the contest at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, again, we talk so much about Peoria City, but again, that's kind of the beauty of soccer, Cody, is all it takes is, one good run, one good pass, and Junction FC, we've been talking about Peoria City a lot this game. I mean, they're still very early in this one. It's still much too early to count them out.
Well, Livingston, and Bova scoops it up. That seems to be Livingston's favorite spot, is just above the 18. That one off Crotty will go to Junction FC. Emily Tobin again in possession for Peoria City. Wells lays it off. Into Wells, punching it ahead to Mayock. Now Ryland able to put on a shot. It's an open goal, and there's number 2 for Peoria City as Mayock puts them up 2-0.
Another relentless attack there from the Carp. All kinds of black shirts headed down, going from right to left. And again, right place, right time. Bova got challenge coming out of the net and paid the price there. A big hole there in the Junction FC defense there as Mayock there is right there. You got to clean that up if you are Junction FC. You can't have Mayock run in there uncontested. It was a tough spot.
Here's
for
Law
them.
again. Law with the one touch. Murphy trying to finish, and it's right into the gut for Bova. Rylan Law with a quick burst of speed.
So not too often in soccer do you see goals scored 10, 15 seconds after each other. It does happen sometimes. I do know that. There have been. It is possible, but and Junction FC, again, what I want to see from them is just kind of clean up the passing, you get some just extended possession. It's more communication, too. I think a lot of their passes that have kind of gone, ended up on the foot of Peoria City players could potentially be remedied, with some better communication as well. So, again, still early in the season for both teams. Junction FC, only their second or third game this season. So, both these teams starting to kind of get their groove under them so far this season.
Callie Cooper into the contest for Junction FC. You can see her just around the midfield circle. Murphy able to get it back. Crotty will send it back to Mayock. And as Peoria City gets ready to jump into the 31st minute, they've generated already 15 chances. Ball played through, nearly snuck it to Murphy. Towards Wells, and Bova's there.
Going back to, Rylan Law, Cody, again, just a dynamic player, really active forward for this team, and just a great pickup. I mean, helped, we talked about that Glenwood program earlier. Again, for those of you maybe around the area, those that follow Clutch Sports Media outside of Peoria City, we cover mostly high school stuff. That's where I'm kind of more attuned to. That Glenwood soccer team, very good, and Law was a star for that team. I mean, the program single-season record holder for goals. That scored 42 in a season. And, at such a storied and historic program like that, I mean, it's kind of like the Springfield's version of Peoria Notre Dame up here, right? We had Mike Baer on the call, their head coach, or the men's head coach, I should say. Just as strong on the women's side. But, again, a very, very good program down there in Chatham. And, again, Law, all-time record holder for the Titans.
Two subs coming into the contest during that last stoppage for Peoria City, as Law will put one on, and Bova initially didn't have it, but caught it on her second effort. Sammy Senek and Anaya Seymour both check into the contest. Senek from Illinois State by way of right here in Peoria.
Yeah, former Dunlap Eagle. Her father, Peter, is the head coach for Dunlap girls soccer team, who is currently playing in a sectional semifinal as we speak.
Peoria City generating a fair amount of pressure along that Junction FC back line. And again, just as you were hinting at, John, there's so many ties from these girls here to the Central Illinois area. And again, that's what served as the building block for assembling the team this season, was getting the right players, the quality of players that they have right here in Central Illinois, with really the nearest soccer programs you can even go to at the next level being at Illinois Wesleyan and at Illinois State, just down the road in Bloomington and Normal.
Yeah, and, I think a big part of that, especially Senek, her coming from Illinois State, you got the connection with Raleigh DeRose, the daughter of, Peoria City CEO Jim DeRose as well. So, and a lot of good connections, and, their, front office, their head coach, GM is, all been very active. It's not easy, kind of trying to assemble a team from essentially nothing in the span of a couple of months. It feels like not long ago I was at the press conference announcing the existence of this team. But they have gone out and gotten some good players, some of which I believe, unless I could be mistaken, I think some of them came from Junction FC last season.
All lofted inside, it will be stabbed away. It will stay with Peoria City. Another substitute coming in for Junction FC.
Junction substitution, 5, Tammy Shallett.
So Tammy Shallett will come in for number 10, Reese Anderson. Wells lays it off, trying to get it ahead to Law. Falls to Tobin. Tobin with the carryover. Senek. Off to Mayock. She has one already today. Wells loads it up, puts it on, and skates it just wide left.
Wells, along with Mayock, has been very active on that far side today, and I think that's probably the best opportunity that she has got. I would not be surprised to see the neon headbanded Wells put one in there. She's definitely, I think, the most recognizable Peoria City player from up here in the booth for sure.
Seymour putting the pressure on. I believe she got close to getting a touch. Instead, it will be Peoria City on the throw-in. Tobin to Seymour. Padilla. Lofted in behind. Here's Wells trying to get there. Forces the goal kick.
Wells wanting a corner.
It looks like she may have just about gotten her way on. I thought for a minute our center referee was going to overturn the call. Instead, it'll be Bova on the goal kick as we get just shy of 10 minutes to go here in the first half.
Cody, can you recall the last time you saw a soccer team have 40 shots in a game? Because Peoria City might be on pace to do so with 17 here in the first 34 minutes.
It's a pretty good start, again, for the Peoria City offense. I'm sure somewhere out there's been some ridiculous stat lines across some other instances, but I guess in person I've never seen that high of a total, whether it be in the high school, semi-professional, or professional ranks. But, again, Peoria City, we knew they were capable of putting together opportunities, and so far they've really done well to stretch thin the Junction FC back line and midfield and just be a little quicker to some of those 50-50 opportunities to run onto. Cordray trying to play it ahead, does get it to Mayock, and these are one of those opportunities. She wins the one-on-one joust, tries to stab it ahead. Instead, it's Junction FC.
Hey, nice play there from Celia Barkley, a defender coming in there.
Now here's Wells. Wells will take one dribble forward. She'll lay it off to Mayock. Opportunity to whip one in. And just ran out of time in real estate as it will go to Bova for the goal kick. As we get into the 37th minute here in Peoria, Illinois, here at Shea Stadium. I'm Cody Roskins, alongside me, Jonathan Michael, as we bring you this WPSL matchup out of the Gateway Division. Peoria City hosting Junction FC out of Champaign. It will be the first match between these two in Peoria City's history. So a little bit of bragging rights on the line between the two.
And potentially the first points for either of these squads this season here in the Gateway Division is, well, obviously someone will come away with a point at least. But, and Lou Fuse and FC Pride leading the way so far. Peoria City has seen both of them.
Ryland Law almost made a very class effort on that header, and instead it's going to be towards Tobin. But Ryland Law, again, checked into the game as a substitute. She has led what has been a great deal of the approaches forward for Peoria City. Here's Wells.
Yeah, it's really been her and Mayock and Wells.
Just leaving the defender in her dust. Inside, Seymour. Seymour had a great chance in Peoria City's last match against Lou Fuse, but had it punched away by Caroline Ritter, and nearly got another opportunity there. This will be another substitute for Junction FC as Aubrey Marshall comes into the game.
Yeah, seeing lots of substitutes already for Junction FC, and I think they're just wanting to keep bodies fresh. They're playing this game with a little bit smaller of a bench than Peoria City is. They got 5 players on their bench, not including their backup keeper, Meg Rosso. Whereas the Carp, they got about 7, 8, 9 players on their bench, on their game day roster here today. So, again, a revolving door for Junction FC so far.
Header won by Crotty, stabbed ahead. Yeah, does well to ward off. Here's Tobin. Rylan Law lays it off. Crotty with the advance. Playing it ahead. Nice flick on the header to Seymour. You can see the idea there from Sammy Senek. Now outside to Mayock. Fakes the service. Playing it off to Wells. Back inside, Senek. Thought she might have a chance at it for a moment. Junction FC doing well to try and ward off would-be approaches. Still in the penalty area. And a handball will be on Padilla.
Yeah, City's done a really nice job of getting their opportunities off of kind of those bending balls that come in from that far side and just getting some fortunate deflections. And obviously, in case you're just tuning in, that first goal was a deflection, essentially an own goal on a shot from Joella Livingston. But again, the bounces have been kind, I think, to Peoria City today for the most part. There have been some that have kept them out of the net. They have gotten some good ones.
Putting the rip on, and there it is! Number 3 for Peoria City, as they are now 3 up in the half, as Seymour gets her first of the year.
Well, Cody, you talked about how she got such a good chance in that game against Lou Fuse, and I'm sure she kind of thought about that one for a long time, thought how much she wanted that. Well, she got it right there. It kind of went near side post there on Bova. I know she quite expected her to go there. Again, that ball didn't really get off the ground at all. It still found the back of the net. And Peoria City's 18th shot ends in their 3rd goal.
So now 3 up for Peoria. So they continue to impress in this first half. Just under 5 minutes to go before we get to stoppage time here in half number 1. Trying to hunt out Rylan Law again over the top. Law sticks it, and it's going to go on the scoring end of one of these runs.
Again, if Law just keeps on running like that, keeps on getting as many chances, like we said earlier, she's going to get rewarded for it. I mean, she is extremely dynamic. I'm really excited to see what's in store for Rylan Law the rest of the season.
Liza Wiley will check into the contest for Peoria City.
Scored by number 25, Anya Seymour. Assisted by 4, Yerdan Padilla.
So Seymour is the goal scorer for Peoria City. Assist to Padilla. Peyton Rhodes, again, haven't had to say her name a ton tonight. Here's Law again. So much speed that we've seen so far from her. It to the outside. Trying to find that advance forward. Here's Sammy Senek. Off to Mayock. Mayock! Backside kisses it in! It's 2 for Mayock! The 4th of the half, and again, Peoria City pouring it on in half number 1.
I mean, had to turn her hips to get that one over to the left side of the net. Sneaks in off the woodwork, past to diving Bova. It doesn't get much better than that, Cody Roskins. What a goal, and that's 2 for Mayock. Already a brace in the first half. Could we Peoria City women's history here tonight.
And so Sammy Senek will get credit for the assist as there's a downed member for Peoria City. Okay, just perhaps maybe tightened up just a little bit on that last effort.
Yeah, overall, this game hasn't been overly physical. It's been pretty much just kind of touch and go, not too many big collisions, not too many fouls either. I mean, really been a clean game. Peoria City's just been able to kind of just dominate possession. This game is just all about what Peoria City wants to do, and Junction FC trying to again find some ownership of this game instead of being subjected to all these attacks from the Carp.
Rylan Law laying it off to Sam. Bit of a tame effort towards it, but Senek trying to get her first effort on goal. As we are creeping awfully close to stoppage time here in the first half. Quarter A able to lay this one off. Haven't seen FC much of at all in this first half in Peoria City territory. It's been in large part Peoria City's game, as you were saying, John, just able to, one, claim the 50-50 really well at getting back whenever they haven't gotten possession.
Yeah, you know, Peoria City has done some good things, running down those balls. And yeah, I'm not saying Junction FC hasn't been trying to run down these balls at all. You know, Peoria City's just been a little bit faster, maybe conditioned just a little bit more. But again, they're playing like they want it. This is a team that really wants that first win of their franchise, and they're certainly playing with some drive here tonight.
Liza Wiley whips it in. It's a karate. Here's Law, turn and burn. Rylan Law, in the left-footed effort, never really had a chance.
Maybe slow it down there, maybe try and set something up a bit more. That was a really tough angle there for her that Ibova probably would have had it blocked off anyway. But again, in stoppage time, you know, you never really quite know how much time is going to be left. That is number 20 of the first half for Peoria City.
Into stoppage time here in the first half. Quarter A. Playing it ahead towards Law. Law's in. Law floats it, and there's number 5 of the half as Rylan Law puts a bow on this first half.
You know, Cody, I didn't quite know if Law was going to more of Bova, but Law showcasing her incredible speed, just outrunning the keeper to the ball there. Again, just no contest once she got it past her. You had to know it was going to happen for Rylan Law, and what do you know it does? 5-0 right before the first half was likely going to end anyway.
To let Junction FC know about it behind the home goal.
Scored by number 9, Rylan Law. Assisted by number 16, Bree Cordray.
Cordray will get the official scoring for the assist. Able to get it into Seymour. Seymour traveling on.
City's been taking some good angles to the ball today. Again, I think that's able to get all those 50-50 balls is, again, they just always seem to have position, using their bodies to kind of block out the Junction FC defenders. They've been strong in that department tonight.
Falls to Seymour. Onside will be Tobin. Tobin fakes right back to her left, trying to get back.
To the gate at midfield.
It'll be a nearsighted corner for Peoria City. Already up 5-0 in the half. Could be hunting a sixth here before the halftime horn. Low liner towards that front post, and it will stay with Peoria City. Tobin will have the service in once more.
Peoria City's played just about as perfect of a game as you could play, Cody, but one thing they haven't done is been able to score off of those set pieces. I'm curious to see if they can get one of those here before time expires tonight.
Service a little better towards the front of goal. Was able to beat Bova initially. It off. Here's Padilla. Padilla from a ways out. And that will end the half with Peoria City 5, Junction FC 0. We're going to go ahead and step aside for just a quick break before we come back at halftime and break down the first half of action.
Peoria, Illinois, where an afternoon together opens up a world of adventure. Shared adventure, where imagination runs as big as the machines themselves, proving that wonder comes in all sizes. Whoa! In Peoria, every adventure begins with just one step.
If you want to improve your game, contact the Yard to book a batting cage or field today.
Is your business surrounded by success?
Ours is.
Absolutely. 100% yes.
Knowing your company is surrounded by the best in the business is a great feeling. And that's the feeling you'll have working with PIP.
They manage our direct mail campaigns.
They print our marketing materials.
For marketing, signs, and print, surround your business with more than 50 years of success. PIP.
Here's another home improvement insight from Custom Bath Solutions. Most bathroom remodels happen for two reasons. Family. We can take today's neutral trends and pops of color and pair them with 2-day tub-to-shower conversions, a spa-like oasis, or a no-barrier shower with grab bars as your family needs. Get started today and save 10%. Call 309-699-1100, click on custombathroomsolutions.com, or visit the Prairie Home Alliance showroom in Washington.
At Auto House of Peoria, from newly redesigned state-of-the-art facilities to community involvement right here at home, Auto House of Peoria strives to be your premier auto destination. Shop online at autohouseofpeoria.com today.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium here in Peoria, Illinois, as some of the halftime entertainment continues to get on underway. Just Michael, as we get ready to break down that first half of action, which saw Peoria City, the onslaught of offense, put them up 5-0 in the half, Jonathan. 22 shots is a recipe for success in any match.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what Peoria City has been able to do. I think a lot of it has been what they've been able to do on the offensive end. I think some of it is because of a little bit, again, more inexperienced backline for size has struggled this season. So it's not looking like it's going to turn it around much here today. Now, they can turn it around in the second half. They could, shut Peoria City out. I think, again, I know no team wants to be in the business of moral victories, but I think that if you're Junction FC, that's what you kind of want to do here in the second half. Maybe get, some chances on net. They're still without a shot. It's just been all.
I want to take this moment to thank some of our sponsors that make this broadcast and those like it in the future possible. First for Ducks, down on Farmington. Again, John, we touched on it earlier. We went down there after our last match here with Peoria City's women's side. Had some tremendous food, tremendous service. A great place to spend an afternoon or evening. Highly recommend taking some time down there at Ducks.
I highly recommend those loaded fries, too. Delicious.
On Knoxville. John, I know you and I are both, not huge fans of the car buying business, but people down at Green Chevrolet definitely make it easier.
Yeah, they certainly do. A lot of different locations, including one here on Knoxville. I want to thank them and just all the rest of our sponsors. Again, a lot of sponsors that, help make, not just our broadcast, but also just make, helping put together this team possible. I mean, all these different area businesses for River City Brews Network, obviously for our friends watching, at those establishments, welcome to you. I hope you're having a great Wednesday evening, and if you're a Peoria City fan, it's been an even better night for you.
Absolutely. We're going to go and take another quick short break here as we come back to break down more of the first half action.
Peoria, Illinois. Adventure. And every splash becomes a shared adventure, where imagination runs as big as the machines themselves, proving that wonder comes in all sizes. Whoa! In Peoria, every adventure begins with just one step, and
If you want to improve your game, contact the Yard to book a batting cage or field today.
Most bathroom remodels happen for two reasons: to keep up with style trends or to keep up with your changing family. We can take today's neutral trends and pops of color and pair them with 2-day tub-to-shower conversions, a spa-like oasis, or a no-barrier shower with grab bars as your family needs. Get started today and save 10%. Call 3solutions.com or visit the Prairie Home Alliance showroom in Washington.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium here in Peoria, Illinois. I'm Cody Roskins, alongside me, Jonathan Michael, as we continue to break down the first half action between Peoria City and Junction FC. Jonathan, again, just quick rundown of the unofficial stats. 22 no saves. Peyton Rhodes' pretty calm afternoon may continue, and 6 corners generated. On the other end, a offensive challenge to have for Junction FC. They were on the back heels, but starved out a couple of really good chances. Still, Peoria City managed to put 5 on, but no shots, 5 saves, no corners for Junction FC out of Champaign.
Yeah, that's a good point, Cody. I mean, this game could very well be 7-0, 8-0. It hasn't been all bad for them here today. Again, the visitors from Champaign-Urbana. First time these two teams faced it off. Again, kind of I think they're calling it a derby of some sorts between these two teams, and Peoria City is going to be having a big upper hand if they can make their second half anything like the first. But Cody, this has been a very kind of tightly packed in schedule. We'll be back here again on Saturday, and also again the next Saturday as well. So again, a pretty short season here in the WPSL regular season, but Peoria City making it count with 6 home contests, and obviously we'll have all of them here for you all season long on Clutch Sports Media. But again, just a lot of these girls are just kind of getting right. Everything, they're getting back into town. So again, got a little bit of time, got to make it count.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and run down the goal scoring for you in the first half. It was a 20th minute goal by Joella Livingston, assisted by Emily Tobin. A 28th minute goal by AJ Mayock, assist to Rylan Law. A 39th minute goal by Seymour, assist to Padilla. 42nd minute goal. Senek. A 45th minute goal in stoppage time by Rylan Law from Bree Cordray rounds out the 5-goal first half for Peoria City. And again, John, they've did it a multitude of ways, and they're looking to do more in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was relentless. Mayock was a big catalyst. I think Wells was a big catalyst. Livingston was always there. Nice kind of breather, but I'm curious to see if they're going to maybe, park the bus, so to say, in the second half, or are they going to come out hungry for more? We'll see.
We'll go ahead and step aside for one more short break. When we come back, it'll be time for second half action here at Shea Stadium.
Where an afternoon together opens up a world of adventure, and every splash becomes a shared adventure. Where imagination runs as big as the machines themselves, proving that wonder comes in all sizes. Whoa! In Peoria, every doorway leads to discovery.
If you want to book a batting cage or field today.
Is your business surrounded by success?
Ours is.
Absolutely. 100% yes.
Knowing your company is surrounded by the best in the business is a great feeling.
They manage our direct mail campaigns.
They produce all of our signage. They print our marketing materials.
For marketing, signs, and print, surround your business with more than 50 years of success. PIP.
Here's another home improvement insight from Custom Bath Solutions. Most bathroom remodels happen for 2 family. We can take today's neutral trends and pops of color and pair them with 2-day tub-to-shower conversions, a spa-like oasis, or a no-barrier shower with grab bars as your family needs. Get started today and save 10%. Call 309-699-1100, click on custombathroomsolutions.com, or visit the Prairie Home Alliance showroom in Washington.
At Auto House of Peoria, from newly redesigned state-of-the-art facilities to community involvement right here at home, Auto House of Peoria strives to be your premier auto destination. Shop online at autohouseofpeoria.com today.
And welcome back to Shea Stadium here in Peoria, Illinois. We have a delayed flyover, more or less, coming out of the blue here at Shea Stadium. As a few of the military-grade cargo haulers head off to Peoria International Airport, and they frequently make runs from here to Madison and whatnot. But them swinging by to say hello to us here at Shea Stadium. But John, as we get refocused here on the match, again, 5-0 Peoria City up. They are going to be looking to, again, add on to what has been a historic night for them.
Now, Peoria City doesn't have to do much to hold on for their first win in franchise history. It's got to hold on and play some more of that soccer we saw in that first half. Again, we didn't really see many subs for the Carp in that first half. We saw a couple, but I mean, Peoria City, after a little bit, may start to empty the bench, may get to see some newer players that practice and it's waiting for their time to shine. But again, this starting 11 and the subs we did see, including a Ryland Law in that first half, all very impressive as the Carp already on the field warming up for half number 2. Still no sign of Junction FC. Looks like they're still.
They begin to make their way back to the field. You can see the Peoria City side very much enjoying what was a fast and furious first half for them in the scoring department as they look to regroup here in half number 2. Peyton Rhodes making her way over to join them. And again, she has been without much of challenge this half. Not a shot registered yet.
We did mention her name, I think, once or twice at the top of the broadcast. Now, again, she is going to be, a good player for them in between the pipes this season. But, and she might not have to worry about too much if this, the front 7 or so for Peoria City keeps on just hounding Junction FC like they did in that first half. And they facilitated kind of some opportunities, got passed back to them a little bit, kind of started some runs down the field, but they didn't really have to do much in the way of actually defending too much. Outside of that first, I think, 3 minutes or so, that was the last time we really saw the ball even get anywhere near the box on Junction City's attacking side.
Again, as we get ready to resume action here in the second half, division of the Central Region for the WPSL. Peoria City looks to be recording their first win. They will join teams with points with FC Pride and Lou Fuse Athletic, Missouri Reign as well, who they have yet to play. It's a 5-team division made up of said 5 teams, and with certain matchups taking certain weeks and an odd number of teams, someone's going to have to be left out on any one rotation. And Junction FC was in rest last time out.
Yeah, Cody, and both those first 2 games for Peoria City, even though they were losses, I think they can definitely be proud of what they did. Those were close games. I mean, it's just some really close chances in that loss to Lou Fuse, lost a 1-goal game on the road to FC Pride, and just a wild game that featured a weather delay. First game in franchise history, they battled and fell by 1 goal. I believe a late score at that from FC Pride. So, Peoria City in its first year as a franchise, not too far off fetch to think that they could contend for a division title. Even though there are only 5 teams, it's still very early on. But again, I think Peoria City is still.
Got 1 rotation to speak of out of the half for Peoria City that we can confirm. Well, the switch in goal. So Peyton Rhodes' evening has come to a close as Saki Tashuya from Valparaiso and Takasaki, Japan will come into the contest. She transferred from Tyler Junior College. Her 2-year career there had 31 career games with 29 starts in goal and will now be a Valparaiso. Peoria City working from left to right across your screen here in half number 2. Junction FC from right to left. Three-quarter A. Lines it up the near side. Winters with it. Emily Murphy trying to hunt out that undercooked pass. Liza Wiley also there. Now Sammy Senek in possession for Peoria City. Hat trick near, excuse me, not a hat trick, but Ryland Law looking for her second, so she would have joined Mayock with 2. I saw the orange cleats there for a second. I'm like, oh, AJ Mayhawk must be going for her third.
That's what I thought as well.
As the sun has completely faded behind us here at Shea Stadium, the floodlights on. It's been a very nice year during the course of both the men's and women's season. Of course, the men on a bit of a road trip lately. They'll be at Springfield here, a fellow Great Plains Division opponent here this weekend, while Peoria City will take on the KC Current 2 team here in the WPSL, a matchup we're very much looking forward to.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. They announced it, I think, just shortly after the initial schedule release came out. So, yeah, they got good fan base over there. KC Current, so that is going to be a fun game for sure. It should be well-attended, too. You know, Saturday night, weather looks like it's going to be good.
Ball played through, and that FC. I will say, big fan of the KC Current Stadium. You see it just as you pull in into Kansas City as you head towards downtown. You can't miss it. Beautiful looking facility, essentially brand new. And that new pro team in Kansas City has been making waves there in the community, and they are fan favorites.
Yeah, you know, for people that, you know, maybe aren't quite super acclimated to soccer, Kansas City doesn't really seem like a soccer mecca, but gone to some USA men's national teams there in Kansas City, I believe. Obviously, Sporting KC, longtime MLS club, and even trickles down to the women's side, too, as well. So, you know, again, Kansas City, too, also just a very nice city in general. I have never been, but I've heard great things about it. A lot of people moving there, a lot of, you know, it's just an attractive destination, and, you know, that soccer stadium that they got.
Mercy Park now 3 times to watch them in the Gold Cup. I can say I've witnessed the fastest goal in U.S. men's national team history against Canada. It happened less, I want to say it was like 24 seconds into the match. And then, wouldn't you know, the match ended 1-0. But it was a very exciting opening 90 seconds of the game.
You recall who scored that goal?
I don't. I know the other memorable goal that I have witnessed in Kansas, bicycle kick against Panama in, I believe it was the knockout stage for the Gold Cup. And I had just graduated high school, went down with my best friend and one of our other friends and witnessed that game down there. Super tight competitive game, and that was just a few years in advance of the, I believe, 2024 World Cup.
I'm not the absolute biggest soccer fan. I've always watched on TV, but I like to watch the men's national team and some other games when I get the chance. But Josie Altidore was hands down my favorite U.S. men's national team player. So not surprised to see him score the goal.
Yeah, I shouldn't say 2024 World Cup. I believe it was after the, right before the 2022 World Cup, I believe. I'll have this for Peoria City after the injury stoppage, but much like on the men's side, the number of St. Louis sides, there's 2 expansion teams in that division as well. One from Kansas City, who the men just got done playing and took a 2-0 victory against, as well as one in St. Louis. And so, again, it's all a tribute to the growth of the sport. And we talked to some of the members of the here for the League 2 final just last summer, and just the number of interested parties since they've taken over and really dug some inroads in the last even 3 years has been tremendous.
Yeah, really, especially on the USL 2 side. You know, this is pre-professional soccer. These are not professional clubs. And, you know, it's sometimes with a nationwide league like that, you see all these, overall maybe are not in the best health, not in the best standing overall, but it is a very strong, very healthy league. Again, just started a couple of years ago. Well, obviously it formerly was the PDL, and before it became USL 2, but again, there's so many teams that want to get in on the action. Other leagues that want to take a step up to USL 2. And again, not every team survives for a long period of time, but Peoria City, now in their 4th year, seems to have found some great roots, and I think the future is really bright for this club on both the men's and women's side.
Senegan Murphy with a couple of overlaps without possession. Now to Padilla. She'll carry on strong. Padilla. And it's over and into the 309.
Got a feeling that Senek might be the next Carp to score. Again, she's been kind of heating up, getting some more and more chances after she checked in. Again, she did not start this contest, but is pretty active. Her and Law, again, getting some fresh legs off the bench, has been really strong in the midfield so far for the Carp.
Will result in a Peoria City throw-in. Trying to for the flick ahead. Liza Wiley. Crossing over back in, Peoria City on the front foot. For the moment was dislodged. Still though playing on, now FC in possession. Back and forth we go in transition, ball along.
I talked about positioning in that first half, Cody, and again, you saw it right there. Peoria City's done it so well tonight, and Reinheimer Junction FC didn't even get a touch right there on what could have been their best chance of the night. So, and Peoria City's just doing the little things right. Obviously, they're doing the big things right, too. It's the reason they got 5 goals so far in just 52 minutes. Things certainly do add up.
Here is Padilla. Peoria City's been first to a lot of these opportunities, found themselves free in the midfield, and we will have a few more subs coming in. This will be Reese Anderson checking back into the contest for Junction FC.
Junction substitution 10, Reese Anderson.
And Anderson, one of those former normal community players, alongside with Tegan Fahey on this Junction FC team, who we learned from our friend Joe Ringham down in the PA booth before this one that Fahey goes to Transylvania University down in Lexington, Kentucky.
To run it down. Barkley has it on that far wing, tries to play it ahead. No reinforcements there for Junction. Here's Sammy Senek. In the Illinois State Redbird. I'm here for Peoria City, laid in behind. Ball essentially stops dead on a dime. Trying to get it back to Senek. Leah Crotty. Knifing in again. Crotty gives it a go on some service.
Turned away too many shots today. That was one of the first, at least, with their body. We've seen a lot of, kind of deflections, but that one was more of a straight block there to kind of snuff that one out. Junction's looked a little bit more comfortable on both sides of the ball here in the second half. So, and trying to just put something together on offense, but plays like that, you see Tobin just swipe right in there and take it away.
Peoria City in the attack again. Ball laid in behind from Grace Kilman. And Senek will watch this one coast out for the Peoria City corner. But again, Grace Kilman has had now 2 laid in, very nice behind that back line for Junction.
Another chance for Peoria City, who's now had 7 corners, still looking for their first score off of one. See what they draw up here.
Be an in-swinging ball. Floated towards the top of the 6. And this one will belong. Aerial header won by Peoria City, Emily Murphy. And this may have got Peoria City corner.
I mean, it's just been the story of the game right there, Cody. Bova gets the goal kick. And I mean, 3 seconds later, she's having to face another opportunity there from the Carp. They've just done a nice job of winning so many balls in the air and on the ground.
And Murphy was nearly there to clean it up. It was a fairly good service in that time from Padilla.
Looking headers we've seen tonight from the Carp, now at 26 shots on goal.
Falling straight to the feet of Senek. Chipped in behind to Padilla, but it will belong to Junction FC on the throw-in. To, again, hold it for a Junction throw. This will be a foul against Junction FC.
Again, in case you're very free-flowing, very clean game, no bookings of any sort so far.
Ball floating in the danger area. Nelia Crotty trying to work. Senek able to escape traffic. Here's Padilla. Padilla puts on a shot, one hops in the awaiting arms of the keeper.
Yeah, that ball evaded or bounced off of Bova in any sort of way. Murphy was right there for the stick back. 7-8-0 right now, but Junction FC has made some good plays to keep it at the current number.
Junction FC again trying to get that push forward. Here's Anderson. Ball looped in behind. Pivoting out, trying to get it ahead to Law. Kilman was there in support. The moment was disavowed by the Junction FC defense. So we get close to the 61st minute. A 5-goal first half for Peoria City that saw them cruising here in the opening minutes of the second half. Junction FC's had a few moments here moving forward on offense to try and generate what would be their first shot of the night. Meanwhile, Peoria City's offense is taking a slight half step back in the numbers department. 22. Played in right in behind Grace Kilman. And Kilman, in an effort to perhaps avoid the would-be keeper for Junction FC, generated a goal kick coming up for Meg Rossau.
As would have been the second, maybe even third wide-open look that Peoria City is. Junction FC is, and Rossau and Bova have combined for 8 saves in the net. Whereas Suchia for the Carps looking for her first shot against.
Rossau with it once more. .309 cheering on men's head coach Mike Pay as he makes his way out of the president's box and onto the concourse. And him showing support here tonight for the women's side. as his team again will be in action this weekend when they head to Springfield to take on division rival Springfield FC.
Talked about, played in a lower level and then decided to take the step up and join the fun in USL League 2. It's good for Peoria City that they have some close by division mates. You know, the Carp men's team, they were in the Heartland division last year, along with a lot of other teams here around the Illinois, Chicago,
St. Louis
area as well.
Here's Grace Kilman. Kilman line. One's put in. It's number 6. And it looked like it was Law on the last effort. So 6 up now for Peoria City as their historic night continues.
What do you know, Cody? I know FC ends right on the foot of Peoria City player, and then I believe that was Law that finished that one off, as we'll get 3 new subs coming in for the Carp. And why not empty the bench at this point of the game? They have built themselves a healthy cushion. Only question I think that's really left to be asked is Law going to get the Hattie tonight? That goal was Law's. Both of them have braces.
We get close to the 64th minute. Peoria City nears what would be its 30th shot of the night. They've generated 8 corners in this one, so their offense has been free-flowing in the run of play. Not a ton of set pieces tonight to speak of for them. Again, as you were hinting at earlier, John, just not a ton of stoppages in the contest outside of the occasional goal from Peoria City, and we've had a very free-flowing game, which has been nice, change of pace from what we had just a few days ago.
Yeah, that was a very stop-and-go game, really just kind of big stalemate. It wasn't really a ton side of the ball. The game was scoreless at halftime before Lou Fuse Athletics scored twice in the second half. But again, it's been a night and day difference, both in just the overall feel of the game and also the outcome of the game for Peoria City.
Ball nearly snuck in behind. It's hauled in by Rossau.
That's a good diving stop there, and Seneca looking for that first goal. I did not catch it. Was Law got credited with that last one.
65th minute we go.
Peoria City goal is second of the game, scored by number 9, Ryland Law.
And there we have our official confirmation. Will get credit for the goal, so it'd be her second. Grace Kilman gets the assist.
Kilman's done a nice job facilitating tonight. You know, the midfielder from by way of Nichols College. And she can also score 2 as well. Scored 3 goals in 18 games with her. Didn't start today's game, but has been really impactful off the bench. You can make the case, Cody, that some of Peoria City's best performances tonight have all come from players that weren't in the starting 11. You know, Rowan Law, Grace Kilman. You know, we saw Anaya Seymour as well score for the
booking of the night. Didn't quite catch the number on it. It was a quick pivot away from our lead official, but first yellow card of the night on Junction FC. We'll set up Peoria City with a free kick from a fair bit out. This would probably be looking at some service into the box, perhaps try and get something going in the mixer. Ball chipped ahead and will be wide left of goal. I believe that was Emily Tobin on the effort. Rossau on the goal kick. This second half, it's been in large part a defensive effort from Junction FC tonight. They haven't, again, been on the ball much tonight. It's been a lot of this sequence here. Just not a lot of header balls won by Junction FC, and they haven't been first to anything free in the midfield yet.
I do believe, again, even going in, I found this out early on, but I think Peoria City's got a little bit just of a height advantage, I think, on over some of these Junction FC players. So you're right, a lot of headers have been won by them tonight. A lot of 50-50 balls have been won as well. So let's play keep away some more.
This will be the chance for Junction FC to perhaps pressure if they would like. They'll sit about 3/4 of the way up the Einheimer, pretty much the lone forward tonight that's gotten in much possession for Junction FC. Anderson's had a few touches here and there. She's dropping back more into the midfield. Gonna get it to Tobin. Ball still in. And Tobin and a few go down in a heap, and this will be a foul on Tobin for the grab and pull. You can just kind of make out there on the end of that play, that free arm.
Yeah, haven't been too many bodies hitting the turf here tonight. One of very few fouls on Peoria City. We talked about how few there have been in this game. More of them have gone on Junction. There have been on the Carp. So, and Peoria City has just been too busy setting stuff up on the offensive end to really be in position to have.
That one's just a tough touch off Grace Kilman. Tobin was the nearest one there. Will be Junction FC. High arcing throw in from Junction FC. Sammy Senek. Rowan Law feeds it ahead. Kilman. And out of play for a Rossau goal kick.
This win is going to give a lot of momentum to this Peoria City team. I mean, heading into their game this weekend. So, again, this is a shorter season, only about a handful, a little bit more of regular season games. So, again, you can't get behind the 8 ball too much if you do want to compete for a division. I want to start getting those wins sooner or later, and Peoria City looks like they're going to put up their first in a big way, and look to keep it going again this weekend, again against KC Current 2. Obviously one of a few non-division foes that they'll be facing this season, and they'll get back, yet to face them this season. And they'll kind of go through the circuit again with Junction, FC Pride, Missouri Reign, and then closing out with Liu Fuse Athletic on the road.
They kind of play the inverse schedule from the men. Is this one still in play? Peoria City hunting perhaps a 7th, and this will be across that far sideline. Again, thought that was a little too close to be blown dead immediately. Credit to kind of going back to the schedule, John, they play kind of the inverse schedule of the men. The men are currently on a long road trip. They won't be back for a couple of weeks, really, and instead, the women will have Shea Stadium to themselves and will get their league games in, and then they will essentially flip, and Peoria City will end the year with, I believe it's 4 out of 5 at home.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of men's games, especially later on in June and early July as well. So, I mean, if you are in the Central Illinois area, come out and have some fun. I got food trucks all the time. The weather is just about for every game except I think 1, maybe 2 that we've done in our just over 1 year broadcasting with the club has been just phenomenal. Get to enjoy. They got all sorts of fun things here. And I'll say, really, I mean, you know, the great soccer is really just the cherry on top. Peoria City's men's ranked #1 out of over 100 USL 2 teams. So come out and see the best team currently in USL League 2, along with the rest of the women's games here as well later on here through June.
Nice ball played in. Peoria City hunt. And it dances out of play for the Peoria City corner.
That save was really the only, maybe not perfect thing that Rossau has done so far today, other than allowing that one goal. Again, had it in her breadbasket, it kind of just rolled out of play. So it'll give Peoria City the corner with their corner kicks so far tonight. Talking about they do have that height advantage.
Punched away by Rossau. That was Seymour and Joella Livingston checking back into the game during that last stoppage for Peoria City. Here's Crotty putting the shot on his Kilman, and that one's wide right of target.
That's a good shot there from Kilman. Again, try and get that all the way played up into the box. So and another good shot there from their midfielder who had the assist on that last goal. At least I believe it was last goal. I don't know, Cody. They're all kind of running together for me at this point.
Yeah, it's an excellent point, John. Well, once we get this next stoppage of play in, as we get close, so now we're actually under the final 20 minutes of this one, depending on what amount of stoppage time gets tacked back on. Seymour will lay this one off to the near side. Trying to cut inside and stabbed out of play. Here is that scoring recap for you. It's a 20 by Tobin. A 28th minute goal by Mayock, assist to Law. That's Rylan Law. 39th minute goal by Seymour, assist to Padilla as Livingston tries to put one in, and it's punched away again by Rossau. 42nd minute Law, assist to Cordray. And a 62nd minute goal by Rylan Law, assisted by Kilman.
Back to Rossau, Cody. She's been having a good second half. Again, I think the defensive back line has played a little bit better for Junction FC the second half. Peoria City's obviously, I think, has been taking their foot off the gas a bit too. But when Rossau, again, just the lone goal in the second half kind of came off with a deflection, and that's where Peoria City has thrived off of tonight, much like how actual Carp kind of thrive off of environments where they can invade in. Carp have thrived off of kind of invade area, and it's been on it all night.
We go near the 76th minute. All chipped ahead, trying to tuck it in behind the back line. Get down. Grace Kilman has been putting in some very good minutes of action here towards the midfield and top of the formation, where a lot of her push has been. This is down the left wing. Junction FC finally getting some possession in the offensive third. And just losing it for a moment was Isabel Moss.
That one, for a second, thought it might have deflected off of it. An awkward strike there for Moss, but you're right, Cody. I mean, that is the kind of first chance that Junction FC has built, I think, since about the second or maybe third minute of this game.
Navigating around Anderson. Ball laid ahead. Opportunity for Peoria City to perhaps get that 7th goal. Instead, it will be a Junction FC throw-in, as we have a whole host of subs coming in for Junction FC, as it'll be a 5-player. As you said and alluded to in the first half, John, just a shorter bench tonight for Junction FC, but they're trying to make it work to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, just about 17 players on their game day roster, obviously 2 of them keepers, so about 5 subs, and all of them have gotten some good minutes. Player really on both sides tonight is probably going to finish this one with at least probably 20-30 minutes of time on the field, so good way to get both these teams, every player out there, see what you got. And really, again, Peoria City subs have came up big. You got Rylan Law with the 2 goals, and Hillman's been very active as well. So, and especially Sammy Senek, who's been knocking on the door multiple times, and I feel like maybe if the Carp get one more, it feels like she might be the one to do it. And the former Dunlap Eagle and now current injury in her sophomore year back in 2023. So glad to see her back on the field again.
This will be a free kick for Peoria City, as we again get closer and closer to call it about the last 12 minutes in change. Obviously, we will have stoppage time tacked back on the second half and 1 card, as Rossau comes up and fields it cleanly. That's always a favorite of Mike Bear and I. We always try to judge just a little bit how much stoppage time we tack on. I'd say it couldn't be anything more than 2 or 3.
Well, we'll see what happens here in these next 12 minutes or so. But again, I think 2. I think I would like to. I know how earlier when the deadline for locking in my guess is, Cody. But
it's going to be before the whistle blows. That's typically the rule of thumb. There's not many rules we play by, but we do like to keep some order around here.
As of now, of 2 minutes.
This one whipped back towards the center of play. It will be a goal kick for Peoria Cities. We have a few more subs checking in. Excuse me, just the 1 sub now for Peoria City, as Mayock will make her return, and she will relieve, I believe, Sammy Senek.
Rewatch this one on demand. You go back and watch the 4th goal of the game from Mayock. That was, again, just a stunner, kind of cross-body off the left post and right in. That was a thing of beauty. Definitely see that on the Peoria City soccer social media channels too as well. They've been very active tonight with posting lots and goal celebrations. Typing away quite a bit here on Instagram and Twitter tonight.
It's actually Aaliyah Crotty, the last sub there for Peoria City, coming off the field. '80th minute. All chipped into the mixer. Still free header right in front of Rossau, and she's able to claim it. First or second bounce when there's been an opportunity for Peoria City to put on a strike. So give her credit. She's taking these minutes and running with them.
Yeah, I would say Rossau has definitely been the MVP at least of the second half, if not the game, for Junction FC. If they've called her.
Ball looped across. Must be across the near end line. Time again, just to remind fans about some of our great sponsors that make this broadcast and those like it in the future possible. First, for Ducks down on Farmington. Do a great job of, again, just fielding us. And when we were down there just a few days ago, down on Farmington Road, and sampling some of their great food and service, as well as Green Chevrolet. Again, nobody enjoys the car buying experience in some place but the people
Also the rest of our sponsors too, you see up there on our scoreboard. It looks like Volkswagen and Prairie Home Alliance as well, Green Chevrolet, Pip, obviously Ducks we mentioned earlier, and Discover Peoria too as well. All good friends of the Peoria City program as well. As we'll see Erica Wells check back in for the Carp.
Peoria City substitution, 18, Erica Wells.
During this stoppage as we get ready to resume play once more. Junction FC on the front foot here. And ball off and sticking with Junction FC along that far side. So it appears Junction FC has found a little bit of footing here in this second half. Try and
then put together 2, maybe 3, albeit very abbreviated kind of runs there at the net. Looks like this one is not going to be one of them.
Ball way out left. Emily Tobin runs onto it. Kilman in front of her, but a nice move by Tobin. Tobin continues to carry on. Highlight reel time perhaps in putting on the strike and blocked in. It took another bounce, but as once more, Joella Livingston finds the scoring column as they will celebrate with the 309.
Well, Cody, we've seen plenty of goals tonight. The first Peoria City goal in home history that they get to celebrate right in front of the 309 and Joella Livingston. What a moment there with them and all the super fans down there behind the net. It's just been that kind of night for Peoria City. And another fortunate bounce. Second one off of the post and in. And she kind of raised up her head. She said, I got this. I got the angle. I got what I want. This shot, Rossau was not going to get to that one, even though she's had a good night.
That's now 3 players with a brace for Peoria City as Joella Livingston becomes the 3rd member of the Carp to collect 2 tonight, joining A.J. Mayock and Rylan Law.
Second of the game, scored by number 5, Joella Livingston. Assisted by number 17, Emily.
After that goal.
Well, as any great journalist would say, when given with new information, I'm allowed to change my opinion. And so John, more than exercising that right.
Told myself I was going to lock it in before the 85th minute, so
a very bold strategy of you to put it in 5 minutes before they wouldn't tell you.
You said you got to you said you got to guess it before they blow the whistle. I was like, well, I'm not going to wait till the 90th minute. That's going to be a little bit too easy.
Touch of sarcasm into that, but yes, I suppose if we were going by letter of the law, that would not hold up. As Joella Livingston carries forward. It's been a great night for Peoria City. 7 on the board, 3 with a brace. It has quickly become the highest scoring game in Peoria City history. I believe even outscoring the men. The men have had some fun games here, but I believe 7 is the most.
I think we saw a 6 twice last year, I think, against...
And that one's pushed over goal by Rosshaus. It was almost an 8th.
Got one right there, but back to my previous point, I think we saw the men score 6, I think, against Dutch Lions last year. I think we saw them score 6 against FC Tucson in the national semifinal game. If I'm not mistaken, he scored 5 or 6, but this has been a performance for the ages. Make no mistake about it. And it's still not over.
Lobby toward that back post. Good effort by Junction FC to steer it away. It's still with Peoria City, however. And cleared away from the danger zone. Peoria City in possession once more. Here's Seymour. And she is the lone solo goal scorer left tonight for Peoria City. She has the one goal that hasn't been doubled into a brace tonight. Ball out wide to Wells. Runs out of real estate.
Yeah, if Wells would have crossed that in, I would have liked to think that could have been another good chance for Peoria City. Again, most of their goals have kind of been set up along the flank and then kind of been brought in on those in-swinging balls. So I think Peoria City has certainly found something tonight, kind of attacking around the edge of the box.
Ball forward to Emily Murphy. Emily Tobin spins against the grain. Back to Joella Livingston, now to Wells. Wells goes around her defender, looking for help in. Tried to get her brace.
What a move there from Wells. Said, all right, I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to just run right around you. I mean, how about the trust and the confidence just in her speed? I mean, again, Peoria City has just been going full throttle all night long. They've been outrunning Junction FC. They've been winning those 50-50 balls. The positioning has been there. They're going to be paid off well for it tonight.
Ball to the top of the formation. Seymour trying to at least hold it for some reinforcements, but just never really fell to her feet. Did well to try and track it down. Tangled up in the midfield. Ball lined up the near side towards Seymour. She won't be able to get there first. And the ball will be sent out of play for a Peoria City throw-in.
Before time expires, Cody, again, I want to give it just the back line for Junction FC. I mean, they've been working so hard all night long. I mean, they have got to be just gassed after this one.
Wells, a little too strong towards the back post. He'll effectively switch the play to Tobin. Trying to hunt out Seymour, Joella Livingston. Step, and carry. Nowhere to go. Loop towards the back post. Wells heads it back in front of goal. Off the post. Murphy! And offsides. It was awfully close. As Liza Wiley was trying to get some movement towards the box. Wells.
I don't really think she had much of an angle there, but yeah, that's probably about the best she could do is kind of aim for that post, hope something happens, maybe a bounce off of Rossau.
Here's Wells. Wells lays it forward. And a little too far out in front as we are just about ready to jump into stoppage time. We have now made that jump. Well, it appears we were a little ambitious with the amount of stoppage time left. A total of 1 minute will be tacked back on.
I think that's part of it. Been because this has been a obviously free-flowing game, not much.
Absolutely, the final whistle has blown, and congratulations to Peoria City as they claim their first win as a program here in the WPSL, and it comes at home against in-state rival Junction FC. The final score, Peoria City 7, Junction FC 0. Jonathan, we want to go ahead and thank our sponsors one more time for making this broadcast on Farmington. Again, we've said it a number of times throughout the broadcast. Please go down and see them. Great food, great service, an excellent way to spend an evening with family. As well for Green Chevrolet on Knoxville. They have a number of locations, but please make sure you stop in if you're in the market for a new car and tell them Clutch Sports Media sent you.
Yeah, definitely. I also want to thank our Clutch Sports Media crew here tonight. Josh Messenger, Eli Lancer helping us out. Also want to thank National Soccer Network, our good friends up in over the weekend. Peoria City, big win here tonight at home at the 309, waves the flags, all good vibes here for the Carp at Shea Stadium.
Absolutely nothing left to do but make another quick rundown of the scoring recap for tonight. Again, it started in the 20th minute by Joella Livingston, in the 28th minute from A.J. Mayock, 39th minute from Seymour. Back-to-back-to-back. Again, in the second half, 2 goals, one coming from Rylan Law in the 62nd, and then 83rd by Joella Livingston, put 7 on the board with a total of 34 shots on the night. A historic evening for Peoria City. We want to thank you all for tuning in and watching this presentation of the WPSL, and we will see you next time.
Peoria, Illinois, where an afternoon together opens up a world of adventure, and every splash becomes a shared adventure, where imagination runs as big as the machines themselves, proving that wonder comes in all sizes. Whoa! In Peoria, every adventure begins with just one step, and every doorway leads to discovery.
If you want to improve your game, contact the Yard to book a batting cage or field today.
Is your business?
Absolutely. 100% yes.
Knowing your company is surrounded by the best in the business is a great feeling. And that's the feeling you'll have working with PIP.
They manage our direct mail campaigns.
They produce all of our signage.
For marketing, signs, and print, surround your business with more than 50 years of success. PIP.
Here's another home improvement insight from Custom Bath Solutions. Most bathroom remodels happen for 2 reasons: to keep up with style trends or to keep up with your changing family. We can take today's neutral trends and pops of color and pair like Oasis or a no-barrier shower with grab bars as your family needs. Get started today and save 10%. Call 309-699-1100, click on custombathroomsolutions.com, or visit the Prairie Home Alliance showroom in Washington.
At Auto House of Peoria, we pride ourselves in delivering the best ownership experience to community involvement right here at home. Auto House of Peoria strives to be your premier auto destination. Shop online at autohouseofpeoria.com today.